Hello, welcome to my instructions for using Logger Pro as a video analysis tool. Today we're going to be using an Angry Birds video that you should download from my website and save to your desktop. So let us open Logger Pro. When your Logger Pro window is open, go to Insert, Movie, and then go to your desktop and open the Angry Birds video. Now, it's going to be most helpful if you can make the video as large as possible in your screen. It's okay if it covers the graph, that's fine. Okay, now go down to the bottom right and click on the three red dots with the arrow. That opens the video analysis tools on Angry Birds. Before we get started, let's play the video. We all know what Angry Birds looks like, but let's just play it for fun. Alright, let's scroll all the way back to the beginning of the video. And just like when problem solving with projectiles, we want to do some prep work so we know what our measurements are made in reference to. So let's set our axis and our zero displacement point. If we go up here, there are two axes. You can click on this button, and then I think 0, 0 should be located right here in the middle of the Angry Bird that's being launched. So you just click, and that is your 0, 0 point. If you wanted to rotate, you could click the yellow dot and it could rotate about that axis. I think we're good, kind of like that. There. All right. Now let us also define a distance. We don't know any distances here in Angry Birdland, so let us just define one for fun. Okay, so this button over here, it looks like a horizontal ruler, is set the scale. So I will set a distance from my 0, 0 point down to the ground. Okay, that will be my unit distance. And instead of 1 meter, we don't know what the distance is, so we'll call it one Angry Bird unit, ABU, and say OK. All right, now let us tab through. If you just go to the fast forward buttons, it will let you tab through the video so you can get the Angry Bird exactly where you want it when we start analyzing its motion. I think the Angry Bird should be launched and be passing through our 0, 0 point at time is equal to 0 for our analysis. So I'm tabbing along right there. I would like the bird to be right here at 0, 0 when we start the time. Now, on our video, we are at a certain time. But what we can do is if I hit these two arrows at a line, I can say at the movie time, 6.733 seconds, that is when I want my graph to be at time 0. Okay. Now right here, right now, will be what we call time 0 on the graph that we're making. Now we can plot the points, and this is pretty slick. So you go to this crosshairs button and click on it, and all we're going to do is use this dot to follow the motion of our Angry Bird, and every time we make a point, I'm clicking on the middle of the Angry Bird. The video analysis tool tabs to the next frame. And the nice thing about Angry Birds is we can actually also see in the video the path that the bird is going. Those little white dots should have a similar path to the blue dots that we're making. It's okay if we're not exactly perfect. I'm trying to click in the middle of the Angry Bird, but you can kind of see that I'm not doing the most perfect job, and that's okay. So we just keep going. All right, that's good enough. Now we're ready to look at the graphs that we've made. And the graphs that Logger Pro makes are position versus time. And actually, let's go back to our graph and click on the pointer select tool. Otherwise, we'll be making more points in our graph and that will mess up our data. Okay, so now we're over here in our graph, and you'll notice that it's got X, horizontal position in Angry Birds unit, and Y, or vertical position in Angry Birds units. Now, does this make sense? Horizontally, does the position just continue to increase as time goes on? Yes. Horizontally, we should have a constant horizontal speed. And so it makes sense that the position versus time graph is linear. We can fit that. Click Video Analysis X. It's going through 0, 0. That's a pretty good proportional. And look, we can see that the slope is 3.831, and the unit should be meters per second. That slope should give us the horizontal speed of the Angry Bird. Let's try the vertical position versus time. It makes sense that the Angry Bird goes up and then down. Click on Video Analysis Y. So analyzing the vertical motion, that's a parabola, so we'll choose quadratic fit. We'll try fit and select OK. I'll bring this down. Now, you can analyze the vertical motion of the Angry Bird by comparing this equation and the coefficients that go in each piece of this equation to your quadratic motion equation. So the A term should represent half of the acceleration. This B term should represent initial velocity, and the C term should represent the initial position of the Angry Bird. Okay. Now, please use this information to continue completing the Angry Birds activity. Please let me know if you have any other questions.